honestly, Eddie's Grill is like one of the best little restaurants in our town. It's so good. I mean, I say restaurant, but really it's just a hole in the wall fast food place. So yeah,
Little burger joint, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, better than Good Burger, 100%.
No, for real, better than Good Burger.
Yeah. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order, please?
I had ramen. On the other hand, I had something at home tonight.
Did you at least have a side with it or something? Like, what did you have?
Just ramen,
Just ramen.
just some top ramen. Had two packs. One of the sodium, the flavor packs because I don't want that much sodium. Um,
Smart.
yeah, or that much flavor. And I did last night. I had Taco Bell and I had their new double beef burrito, which is sick.
Ooh. Okay.
It's pretty good. And last night I went to this like AHL thing with a friend of mine. He invited me out, and so AHL is like the minor league equivalent of NHL. So it's like a minor league hockey thing, which is cool. So it was all the people from like the Pacific Division, the Central Division, the Atlantic Division. There was another one that I can't remember, but
And just so you know, we are recording, by the way.
oh well, hello, welcome everybody to the 9 to 5 boys. What is up? I completely blanked. Um, just started telling my story. So I,
Yeah, you're like an old man rambling, which is good though.
yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting ready for it. I getting ready to be an old man, just rambling all day. Um, I feel old. I mean, like I'm. It's funny because I'm still in my 20s. I'm in my like mid 20s still. I think it's when you reach 27 is when you're in your late 20s, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna be reaching that this year, which like it's like kind of like whatever. But it's funny because I feel like I could still party like a 20-year-old, but then like I hang out with a bunch of other folks, and typically I'm the oldest person in that crowd, which is sort of always wild. And then when I'm the youngest person in the crowd, I feel too young to be around other people, um, which is sort of funny. Adults are interesting, man. When you reach your 30s, there's a definitely a distinct cutoff, I'm sure. But anyway,
Yeah.
back to my story. So we were watching the game last night, which was cool, and there was this like band, Mom Jeans, that was like playing during the halftime, which was sick. That was one of the highlights,
Yeah.
one of the enticing things that the guy was getting me out to, Stanley, and it was super fun. It was nice. It was chill. It was really cool. What else? That was what I did last night. What did I do last week? So well, we haven't recorded, I guess, in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, we have not because I messed up on the scheduling for our recording. I completely blanked on us, when we were doing it on which day, and I was like, "Well, fuck, we'll just push it to next week."
Yeah, it happens, man. I mean, we did it on an abnormal day because, like, oh well,
Yeah,
yeah. So I guess I could mark. I finished dry January. That's why I'm having to drink again. So
there we
uh,
go.
I did break it a little bit, but I think it still counts. So like I
How did you break it a little bit? Did you have one beer? Like what?
no, so it's a good story. So like so there's this bar we frequent up in Belmont. Great bar, by the way. St. James Gate. And so we were up there, and the owner introduced himself to us because he
Hmm.
recognized us. So like we were talking to him, cool motherfucker, right? And so like I'm I first meet up with the guys at their practice spot, the shop, right? And so I'm hanging out there, I'm having some non-alcoholic Stellas, I'm doing my thing because I knew they'd be drinking. So like I was like, okay, we're gonna chill. And then like we went up to the bar, and I was like, okay, I figured I could get like some 0% Heinekens there. They usually have those. And so they ran out, but I was like, okay, they've got Red Bull. I'll just have a Red Bull with the guys. Like that'll keep me awake as well for the drive home. And then so like Doug comes around, right, and so he's talking to us, and Jack's drinking a whiskey, so like whiskey on the rocks, and so like he's like, oh, what's your favorite type of whiskey? And he's like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna show you guys some good shit. And so he gets us a bottle. He gets a bottle of like I think it was High Noon or something like that. I don't remember the name of it, or
Oh, okay.
High something. Uh,
Yeah,
High West maybe.
I think it was
He
probably High
gets
West. I think that's a whiskey brand.
Yeah, High Noon's the one I'm drinking right now. That's the canned seltzer. So he brings us that, and he brings us four shot glasses. And at this point, I'm like, I don't really want to say no. because like he's being very nice, he's being friendly. I'm like,
He's getting you the best shit. I mean, like you
it's a
kind of
good
have to.
gesture, and it's like an educational experience. That's kind of how I justified it to myself. So he pours me like a quarter shot of tasting. So I taste it, and it was pretty good whiskey. I'm not a whiskey guy. Like, I mean, my go-to at the bar, if I do get a cocktail nowadays, I just start drinking cheap. So I do like PBR or Miller. Um, but if I do get a cocktail at the bar, it's usually whiskey sour,
There you
and
go.
so because that's just a common one. Everyone knows how to make it. Very few places know how to do a White Russian. Um, or can they don't have the supplies to do the White Russian, and
And probably
so
even fewer places know the traditional way to do a whiskey sour, which you have the egg white added to. But you got to dry shake that first, and then you add ice. It's a fucking extra step, but it
yeah.
really changes the flavor.
Well, I had a whiskey sour on Friday at this place called Paper Plains in downtown San Jose, and they do it with the egg yolk,
Oh,
so that
there
was
we
sick.
go.
Um,
Egg white, not egg yolk.
egg white, sorry, not the yolk. Don't yeah.
No, if you're doing any cocktails that require egg, you don't use the yolk. You just use the egg white. But there's so far only two that I can name off the top of my head that does the egg white. It's the whiskey sour and the Clover Club.
Yeah, the Clover Club, yeah. Don't put egg yolk in your cocktails. That's not
Yeah,
gonna be good.
unless you want to do
Unless you're looking for protein.
unless you want to do a prairie oyster, because then that's a different story.
Oh, that requires egg yolk.
That requires the whole egg. Like
Oh, you don't
yeah,
separate the white or anything. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
You
cool.
literally put a whole egg in there with a shot of gin, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, hot sauce, black pepper, and salt, and then you just shoot it down.
This is not enticing to me.
No, it's
Telling you the
supposed to be a
truth.
hangover cure. That's what it is, like a hair of the dog type thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. There's all these different recipes for hangover cures. Um, so what's it? Where was I? It
We were talking
was
about
it was last
whiskey.
Monday. So he gave us a tasting of whiskey, and and then I was like, okay, that's gonna be the end of it. It's cool. I only had like a quarter shot, and then he's like, oh, we started talking about mezcal. He's like, oh, I got a good one. And he brings over another bottle, and I'm like, god damn it. So like, I had another quarter shot of like a liquor, but I was like, well, it's like it's not a big deal. I didn't even have a full drink. And plus, I was like thinking about it. Like, I've had a bunch of non-alcoholic beers, and several of them say they have less than 0.5%. So if you add up all those beers I've had, I've probably at least had a beer
Yeah.
in
Well,
the
I'm
last month.
trying to think in the span of the entire month that you've been doing this. So yeah, you've probably had at most, yeah, I'd say
Two
maybe one, maybe that's a big maybe, two beers, maybe,
beers. Yeah, maybe two beers, and
yeah,
that's fine by me. So anyway, I was
and
like,
then half a shot of both whiskey and mezcal together. So yeah,
it wasn't that much to drink, and like I justified to myself. I'm like, I was just doing it for tasting. I talked to my girl about it, and she's like, look, you really prioritize like social connection and social relationships and building a relationship with the owner of a bar that I frequent. That's like kind of important. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. So it was cool. Anyway, and then the last 2 days I didn't drink at all, so that was fine. And then when I first started drinking again on Thursday the first, I went to a show. And the guys were playing at Bottom of the Hill in the city, which was dope. That was a great show. Closet Monster was sick as always. Um, and so and then there was this other band Rays I found. They were cool too. So I had a Rotten Hammer whiskey cocktail. So I had the whiskey Paloma they have. And then during the show I had that before the show, waiting for it to start. And then during the show I had three Miller High Lifes. And then after the show I had like a Budweiser. So I had like six drinks that first
damn, start
back.
off
So
fucking
it's like
strong. I'm
go
proud of you.
just going head in, fucking just ham. And then that Friday I had a whiskey sour. I had a glass of champagne because it was like an engagement party, so they brought out the champagne, which was cool. And then afterwards we went out to round one where I had just a Budweiser, and then I've been rocking Budweiser recently. It's of cheap beers. It's fine. It's pretty good.
Plus, it's the most iconic beer because it's featured in like so many movies. Like, what is it? The first beer you see on screen in Top Gun, it's fucking Budweiser, and they're all drinking Budweiser.
Oh really? I did not know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I am personally of the cheap beers that are available out there. I mean, PBR is always a classic, but I have to give it to Miller High Life. I love getting Miller.
Yeah.
They sell it real cheap at cash only, so I always get a can there. It's real chill. And so then Let's see.
I think the last time I bought that, I think I had like one of those 32-ounce bottles for like what, like $3.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
the 40s. Yeah.
yeah,
And so,
got me fucked up. I'll tell you that right now.
well, yeah, that's like 2 pints of beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, those can get you. I mean, I played Edward 40 hands on my friend's 20. That was 2020. That was last year, wasn't it?
Please tell me that everyone who did that brought like a second pair of pants to like change into.
I didn't spill or anything. I was fine.
No,
I
I
was
mean
smart
pee
about
your
it.
pants because it's two like 40 ounce bottles of beer.
Oh,
The
right. Yeah,
human
you can't
body cannot
unzip.
hold that much fluid at once. So like you're bound to pee your pants if you actually try
Actually,
to
you'd be
finish both.
surprised how I did. I finished both, and I didn't piss my pants. So I'm pretty like I got a powerful bladder, dog.
I don't.
Jack, on the other hand, he has a small bladder. Um,
Please tell me
but
he had a second pair of pants then.
maybe. I
Yeah.
don't really to tell you the truth. I don't remember much from that night. We got pretty drunk, but
Well, yeah, two 40-ounce beers will do that, but yeah.
yeah, 240s. It was fun. I might do that again for for my birthday this year. Actually, that was sick.
Yeah, there's no way I can do it. My fucking bladder is so small. I'm pretty sure I got a prostate the size of a grapefruit.
Speaking of prostates, we'll have to get to the King Charles news, but
The holiest, the royalist of prostates.
the the royalist of prostate cancers. So it's anyway. So then that Friday night, yeah, it was just a Budweiser, and then um, Saturday I had another Rodenhammer cocktail, and I had a beer. I was gonna go for like 2 beers, but then I just ended up drinking the one. So like in the total weekend coming back from dry January, I had 12 drinks, so got them quick.
Damn.
Um, but honestly, it's been feeling fine. I'm not really interested in getting drunk, like maybe like tipsy, but not like drunk ever again. I maybe on occasion, like
Mhm.
maybe on like once every 6 months, but I'm gonna kind of pace myself with the drinking. That's what I kind of learned from dry January was like I really enjoyed. I didn't really mind not having to drink, and so like I figure I could have like more off days this year than I had on days last year, which would be good. But
Yeah.
oh yeah, and then I guess we haven't talked about. So the weekend after our last episode, I took my girl out to Monterey to go to the aquarium out there, which was sick.
Right, because
It
it was her
hasn't
birthday,
changed.
right?
It was her birthday. It was her birthday. Happy birthday to Kate.
Shout out to
Can we
Kate.
just
Can we get a happy birthday in the comment section? That'd be
happy
great.
happy belated birthday in the comments?
Yeah.
So I took her out to Monterey to the aquarium because she's been wanting to go for a while, and I promised I'd take her that day. And it was super fun. Dude, it had not fucking changed in like years. It's the same setup. I was walking through and I'm like, oh, I remember this, I remember that, I remember that. Um, the kids section is still all the same, like with the penguins and shit.
Yeah.
Uh, Super fun, super cool, great to check it out. Very educational. Uh, yeah, it was dope. It was just a great. We spent like 3.5 hours there though, so my dogs were killing me at the end. A lot of walking, and then we drove an hour and a half all the way back, which was fine. Um, and then that night we had enchiladas. Um, and that Saturday we went out to a Sharks game. The Sharks game was cool. I wish I had the bucket hat on me. It's in my trunk. But they gave out reversible bucket hats, and so they gave out like bucket hats that had like the black and teal on one part of it. But then you flip it inside out, it's got the rainbow flag.
Oh, that's cool.
Because it was like Pride Day or whatever at the event, which was sweet. Super cool, and it was a good first period. The Sharks scored like 2 goals, and then they didn't score fucking anything else the rest of the game, and the Sabres beat them by 5, and so
Damn.
5-2. I mean, and so that was disappointing, but like what it's not, it's also not out of the ordinary.
I
So
would
that
have
was
also something to say about the Pride hat, probably because like most companies that usually sell stuff like that are disingenuous in terms of the cause. But like, I don't know, maybe they did it with like intentions of donating some of the proceeds to some good groups and whatnot. I have no idea, but it's cute.
I think they did donate some money somewhere. They also had
Yeah.
the San Francisco gay men's choir perform the national anthem before the game. The national anthem is such a funny thing to me in this country. Is like we do just perform it at every sporting event, and not there's no other country I think that does that.
Yeah, no,
But
and honestly, like, even if we compete with other countries, like, ours fucking overshadows them in, like, so many ways. People, like, try to sing it and make it sound sexy, and I'm like, why are you trying to make a national anthem sound, like, hot? Like, what are you doing?
no, for real. Anyway, so I mean, it's a cool national anthem. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. That shit's fire. Like uh, and our flag was still there. That shit is just fucking tight. Anyway,
With bombs still bursting in the air, fucking, that line goes raw, though.
there's some bars in there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, what else did I do this week? So this past, well, I guess it's only Tuesday, so I guess that's been my 2 weeks. I had the show on Thursday. I got two shows this week. I got a show on Thursday to go see. I'm seeing there's a bunch of bands. It's like 5 bands playing, but the one I know of is La Sombra, so I'm seeing them up in the city at Kilowatt, and then Saturday the boys have a show at the Open Secret that I'm trying to get my boy Stan out to. We'll see if he joins. That should be sick. And tonight is still undetermined. Thursday's already picked. Wednesday we're staying in. We are gonna go get dinner, Kate and I think. I don't remember if we picked where, but it's like whatever. And then the night is our oyster. The world is our oyster. And then
Yeah.
Friday I think we're gonna try this new bar out in San Jose. It's like a speakeasy kind of type of vibe, which would be cool. We'll see if we still want to do that. But what have you been up to, man, before we get into this world news?
In the past 2 weeks, not much. Working, catching up with the news. So many things happening. Oh my god, I remember like maybe only like half of all the crazy bullshit going on. I did go to Cayucas a few days ago, which was fun. Had some kind of brunch going into lunch type deal. Went to a few antique stores, bought a few CDs from them. So yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, one of them actually I'm very excited to listen to. It's Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band's Live Bullet album from 1976.
Oh shit. Okay.
I fucking love me some Bob Seger, man. He's one of the best, like, kind of bluesy rock musicians out there, honestly.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
Oh yeah. I did watch a movie recently. I watched Saltburn, and I've been catching up on Blue Eye Samurai. I haven't finished the last 2 episodes yet, but I promise I will tomorrow. I swear to God, I will. But I'm so hooked. I want season 2 soon. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm hoping they drop that soon. It's a great ending to the season. Saltburn. Yeah, so I haven't seen Saltburn yet. I've been seeing a lot of the buzz on Twitter about it, and I'm just curious.
Yeah, so the basic plot is a Oxford student named Oliver Quick befriends a rich kid called Felix Catton, who lives at this estate called Saltburn. And so once they become friends after their college days, Felix, feeling sorry for Oliver and his background, invites him to stay over at Saltburn as long as he wants. And so he's like, yeah, that'd be cool. And it starts off as like this infatuation you think that Oliver has with Felix. Like, you know, he likes him a lot. But it slowly then takes a sharp left turn into like, oh, you live in a great estate and you have a lot of money. I'm going to slowly infiltrate your entire family and take that from you.
I see. So
Yeah.
it's a get rich quick scheme by imbuing himself into an affluential family. Goddamn.
Exactly. It subverts the idea of the whole, like, you know, criticizing the rich and the aristocracy by saying eat the rich, like other movies like Ready or Not. But no, Saltburn does something different in which it expresses the idea that everyone in the movie is terrible. There is no likable people in that movie. They're all shitheads in their own way.
Oh my.
But it's because Oliver is so clever that, you know, he's able to take, you know, everything they got right under them, which is insane. Like, it's just a very interesting movie when you think about it like that. Yeah.
Very cool.
Also, the soundtrack is killer. It's so good.
Oh, nice. I'll check it out.
Definitely
It's on
worth
Amazon
it.
Prime, right?
It's on Amazon Prime, yeah. Yeah.
What have I seen recently as of movies? Oh gosh. Well, I saw the Godzilla. I don't think we talked about it yet on this pod. Is Godzilla -1?
You saw that. Oh my god, what did you think?
Saw that in theaters. It was an emotional movie. It's really so it's purely Japanese. It's like all in Japanese and subbed, right? It really first off, it really harkens back to a lot of the old like 50s Godzilla movies or 50s and 60s, I should say.
Hmm.
Um, especially with the character design. The character design it's a terrifying movie. It's like horrific.
Yeah.
And it was really powerful storytelling, and it did a really good job at personalizing it for the human characters. Like the main character we follow, the main character is Koichi,
Right.
and so he's really like I love how it gives him drive about like it's his personal fight with the monster, and he's got really good reason as to why, and continuous reason as to why. It really helps build his character and his development and what he becomes and yeah, just Godzilla is like terrifying. One of my favorite scenes in the movie, probably my favorite, is there's a scene where like Godzilla finally makes it to a city, right? And he's just knocking shit over. He's just like nonchalantly not giving a fuck. He's like Honey Badger, doesn't give a fuck, right? He's just stepping over
Yeah.
houses, swinging his tail on buildings by accident, not even thinking about it, right? Just like not even batting an eye. And he eventually like does his atomic power where he does his heat ray, and it looks like an atomic explosion for the special effects. It was really, I think they used a lot of that imagery, which stuck with me, and I'm sure stuck with like Japanese viewers as well because of the history there, with the bomb, right?
I think it's just like
But
the cinematography that goes with that too. Like you're expecting like this big ray to go off, and you're like, oh man, it's a classic ray. But then like it's just dead silence as it comes out, and then just a big boom as it creates literally like the effects of an atomic explosion. You're like,
it,
what should be an epic moment because most people go to see monster movies to see monsters fuck shit up. It
yeah,
turns it on its head into the most harrowing moment in the movie. You're like, you're watching a tragedy unfold right in front of you.
yeah, and then it's like, and so the destruction of the city, um, the rain of blood that comes down afterwards is like Koichi screaming in pain.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! And like not physical pain, but like emotional pain. It was just like wow, dude.
Yeah.
That movie was phenomenal. I loved it. I loved the ending of it. I like the idea they had for defeating the monster. I thought that was sick. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
it's like dope. I love the setting. I think it was perfect. And I saw it. And I saw the movie in black and white. Like I saw the -1 minus color version,
Oh.
which I think was so cool for the setting. And I'm really curious about what it's going to look like when I catch it in color on streaming or wherever I can find it. Right, but like, oh my god, that's got to be that was like just phenomenal. I was really impressed with that movie. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was, but man,
See, I
that was
was
awesome.
tempted to see the minus color version, but I think the only thing holding me back is like if they're doing the minus color, they might as well change the audio a little bit, make it sound like it's kind of on like an old speaker from like the 40s or
A
50s.
little grainy, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, because then that would fit the vibe of what you're going with the whole minus color thing.
And the era too. It's like I like that it's set like in end of World War II, post World War II, Japan, and yeah, it was just really yeah. The main actors just all fantastic. I loved every single one of them. They were all great,
Yeah.
very emotive, and yeah, yeah. That movie was sick. I want to watch it again so bad. That was awesome.
Honestly, I kind of want to just buy it on Blu-ray just so I can watch it over and over and over again as many times as I want.
No, for real, dude.
Yeah.
That movie's dope.
Now, a few movies I should see is VHS 1994, 1999, and 1985. Yeah.
Finish your VHS marathon here.
Exactly, because those are the better ones. After VHS Viral, it kind of like fell off like for a while in terms of like style and quality, and then it managed to find its rise again through those first two movies I mentioned, but then it hit peak again with VHS 1985. People have been saying that it is one of the best versions of the VHS franchise ever. Like, just it's so good.
Mhm. We've been watching a lot of movies, my girl and I. We've been going out to see like a lot of stuff at AMC. Let me check like which ones we've seen recently. It's hard to remember.
Oh, you're right, because you use
Um,
the account and it keeps track of all the movies you watch, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. And like I talked about Freud's last session. I saw. Oh yeah, I guess we haven't. I guess Minus Color was the only, or -1 was the only one we've seen the last time we spoke. Yeah. Um.
Well, because the only other movie I've seen that's actually in theaters was Wonka. I finally saw that.
What'd you think?
I
I'm
thought it
curious
was
to get your
good.
thoughts.
I thought it was cute. It
Really,
definitely,
it's really cute.
yeah. I gotta say, after knowing that it was made by the same guy that did Paddington 1 and 2, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be like fucking lighthearted and cute. And lo and behold, it is. Timothy
And a
Chalamet.
little emotional too.
A little bit, actually. I did actually tear up a little bit, not gonna lie, when Noodle was reunited with her mom, so yeah.
Oh, that was sick.
I mean,
Loved
I
it.
guess spoilers for Wonka if no one was gonna, go see it or something.
Yeah, I mean, who
But
gives a fuck?
yeah, it's basically like a lighthearted family movie. Of course, the happy ending is going to be the happy ending. So,
Right, precisely.
Timothy Chalamet did actually surprisingly well. I was actually really shocked at him being whimsical. What the fuck?
He was pretty good. He's
Yeah.
no Gene Wilder.
No, fuck no. If anything, I'm
But
more excited to see him in Dune Chapter 2. That's all I'm here for.
oh, that comes out next month, doesn't it? Oh my
Yeah.
god, we would have had it in what, November, December, but fucking studios didn't want to pay their actors. Fuck you guys.
Bunch of cunts they are. But I'll tell you what, the saving grace is the fact we get the popcorn bucket we can fuck.
Yeah, he uses a fucking discount fleshlight. It's like it's so funny to me that these like execs, right, they do this shit. They don't, like, maybe none of them are chronically online like we are, but like they don't think about the pervertedness of the internet and like what people are willing to deprave themselves to like fuck a popcorn bucket.
Yeah. I mean, it's the internet. Anything will be fucked and jacked off to. It's one of those unfortunate scenarios.
It's a staple
Yeah.
of humanity and the internet. I mean, like, just, and also my question is the functionality of the bucket. You have to take off the lid to eat. Like, you can't you can't even stick your dick in there because like if you pull it back out, it's just gonna scratch it up.
Yeah, I don't know how the actual bucket works. That's why I'm gonna buy one just to see how it actually like operates for like eating purposes. You guys,
We're just gonna fuck the bucket.
I am not gonna fuck the bucket. I will fuck literally anything before I fuck the bucket. But
What are you doing to that popcorn bucket?
Oh my god. The fucking security guard like just comes into the theater. It's like, sir, why do you have butter all over your pants?
You've got popcorn and butter all over your pants, son. What have you been doing?
I've just been enjoying the movie, sir, in more ways than one.
I just got so excited, sir. I'm sorry.
The stuff around the rim, that's his ranch, guys. That's his ranch. No, yeah, because the design, if anyone's not seen the design of this bucket yet, it literally looks like a Chinese finger trap. Like, how the actual fuck do you stick your hand in there and not just get it caught in between the teeth?
No, for real.
And that's another thing, too. Like, I don't think anyone wants, like, a toothy blowjob. No one ever wants that. Why would you look at the bucket and think immediately, put your penis in there?
I don't want my fleshlight to have teeth. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
I just want to put that out there.
Yeah. Nah, I want my fleshlight to give me a gum job. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, no, for real. Nom 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 up in this bitch.
The everlasting gobstopper. They should have had that for Wonka. I guarantee you that would make sales.
No, for real.
That would make gangbusters. I swear.
Okay, so actually, I want to talk about this. So I'm going to circle back to a topic I brought up earlier. Is like fucking King Charles's prostate cancer.
Right, because we're talking about sex and stuff. Yeah, okay. His prostate.
Yeah. That's a good segue.
Exactly.
So first I remember it was like they said he was like unwell and they're gonna go run tests or whatever, and then he comes back and it's like, yeah, I got cancer, and like that sucks, right? Cancer sucks.
Yeah.
Don't want to wish that on anybody, but it would also probably help to reduce your risk of getting prostate cancer if you didn't have your family so fucking related to each other. Probably.
I mean, I don't know if that's directly related. I mean, his sausage fucking fingers might be, but I don't know if an enlarged prostate and incest correlate. I don't know how that would track, but okay.
Well, it would reduce. I imagine the incest would reduce your body's. So like in okay, I'm gonna like circle back to my like 7th grade biology class, right? So like in animal biology, in organisms, right? In living organisms on this planet, there's diversity within the genetics, because that creates um, safeguards and barriers against certain infections and stuff like that, or certain diseases. It creates immunities, right? That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
And so when people are not keeping those so diverse, it reduces immunities. And so I'm sure that like it probably was a risk factor for him to develop something serious like this by his ancestors and family fucking each other to keep the bloodline pure. Um,
Which still
but
blows my mind that that was a thought process back then. But also, I shouldn't be as surprised because this is around the same time when like doctors back in the day thought that there was only four things that would like determine how well you're doing it every day, whether or not you're too hot, too cold, or too dry, or too wet.
yep.
That's literally their whole logic, and I'm like, well, fuck, that explains a lot of things.
Yeah, and then they thought like leeching was like a helpful idea, or bloodletting.
Yeah.
Yeah, humans were dumb for a long time. They still kind of are. We're still kind of dumb in some capacities.
I feel like we're just walking backwards sometimes. Like there's plenty of moments where I'm just like, why do you do the things that you do? Why do you drink diluted bleach? Why are you taking horse medication? Like
Yeah,
that's for both Republicans and Democrats. Like I'm sorry, like ketamine, it could be good for therapy. I get that, but like it could also be easily fucking abused. So there is that too.
yeah. It's really, yeah. It's well, humans are just funny that way. I think it's really funny to me that like the war on drugs was started as a way to combat drug use, and it only eventually increased it, and now like there's research about like MDMA being used for like treating like post traumatic stress disorder, like psychedelics like mushrooms and ayahuasca being used to treat depression,
Yeah.
ketamine being used to treat mood disorders. It's like the war on drugs won the war on drugs, right? Like it's just
Yeah.
like awesome. I fucking love to see it. There's like decriminalization of a bunch of drugs. There's like recreational legalization of cannabis in like how many states is it now? It must be like
I want to say it's like definitely in the double digits. I want to say like 10, 11, or 12.
let's see, legalized
I'm betting on it right now. It's 11 or 12
weed map.
states that have legalized weed.
Let's see.
Because I can't trust anywhere in like Ohio or like Iowa or Wyoming or some bullshit.
hmm
Fuck no. Kentucky, there's no way they're legalizing that shit in Kentucky.
Well, it could.
I mean, they could, but I mean, it's Kentucky after all. Like, they're kind of just known for like white trash, crystal meth, and whiskey. So
So it's legal for recreational use in one, two. Oh god, that's way too many states. It's got to be like half the country now.
actually, I'm being unfair to Kentucky. They're also known for tobacco, since they're one of the largest tobacco producers in the United States.
Are they really?
Yeah, yeah.
That's impressive.
I mean, the fact that your entire state's money just comes from like selling cancer sticks to people, I don't know how good that is.
Yeah, it's pretty. Oh, so as of let's see. I think yeah, as of last year, there's 24 states. That's like almost half the country.
What the? Oh my
Oh,
god, the fact that almost half the country has legalized this shit and like no one on the federal level's like, Tom, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
yeah. What are you gonna do? And guess which state it is too. It's Ohio was the last one to do it.
Okay.
The most recent one, which is funny.
I want to formally apologize to Ohio. Okay, you guys are cool. I'm sorry. That was mean of me. That was. You know what, Ohio? If you're feeling friendly, can you send me a little like dime bag of what you got to offer over there?
Yeah, we're curious, man.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's just it's really funny. That again, it's all winning, and I mean, love to see it.
Yeah.
I think drugs should at least be decriminalized, and I think we need to better. I think a better solution. I know a better solution would be to offer rehab to those who are impacted by substance abuse. But like, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
also, like, that's the funny thing, too. Like, with Biden's, like, poll numbers right now, I'm just like, he could literally legalize weed. right now and on a federal level, and everyone would immediately be voting for him.
People would be
Holy
like,
shit.
hold on a sec. They'd be like, wait a minute, I was wrong with this guy. But he is also, funding a genocide, so fuck him.
Well, he's also strongly anti-drug, which makes a lot of sense given how his son turned out. So yeah.
Well, given how old he is, the motherfucker grew up like when Reefer Madness was in theaters.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking nearly from the perspective that like if he's so anti-drug, he probably had like a relatively strict, household, and so that's probably why his son turned out the way he did. That and also the amount of like power and money that comes with politics probably didn't help either. The fact that you can just kind of do these things and get away with it.
I know I was wrong, dude. This motherfucker was born in 1942. Why? Why do we have people who lived during World War II leading our country?
I don't know. Like we look back and we think, oh man, one of the oldest presidents, like, back in the 80s was like fucking Ronald Reagan, and he was like 55 at the time he took office. Why the hell is it that we have people that are like 20, 30 years older than that, running our country? It's so fucking insane.
He was only in his 50s when he took off. I always remember him as so much older.
I mean, I could be wrong on that. I'll probably put the information on in post.
I'm actually curious. Hold on. Like when...
Because I remember reading somewhere that like the youngest president back in the day was John F. Kennedy when he got voted in. I think he was like 37 at the time, 38. And then the oldest president who got voted in way later was Ronald Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, he was... Ronald Reagan was actually 70 when he took office.
Holy shit.
Or he was just going to turn 70, yeah. But still, Biden's older than he was when he was in office.
Yeah. And at least by the end of his presidency, he was sort of showing signs of Alzheimer's, so, like, that's... I mean, I guess that's okay, but, like, the fact that I have to have set standards like that compared to our leaders right now is, like, it's not cool. It's very, very depressing.
I don't think someone should be older than the retirement age and be like involved in major decisions that impact millions of people. Like I don't think someone who's older than they're trying to raise the age, but or Nikki Haley's trying to raise the retirement age to 67, or like was it 7? Or like I think it just got raised to 67. She's trying to raise it to 70. So fuck her. But so like if you're older than 67, don't be running for Congress or for fucking or for president. Just go home. Just relax. Mitch McConnell's like fucking he has these fucking old person moments where he just blanks out and fucking I don't know, he sees the Hat Man.
He took 40 Benadryl and he saw the Hat Man.
Yeah, this motherfucker dude. He
Well, I shouldn't be laughing because that I'm laughing because the joke is, funny if it's, like, anyone else doing that. But, like, if it's, like... I think Mitch McConnell's, like, a little over 80 right now. I could be wrong. But
I think he's, like, 84 or something like that.
Oh, my... He's getting close to Chuck Grassley's age. That motherfucker is 88, and that motherfucker just got voted again into Congress.
I respect old people, right? They've lived a long time. I work with old people. They're generally very nice.
Yeah.
They have a lot of wisdom, But I'm going to be honest, if you can die from a fall, don't be running for office.
Yeah.
If you could die from tripping and falling, don't leave the house.
Yeah, especially since immediately, as soon as they die, they're literally going to scramble to get someone else to fill that seat, and it's going to be like just a fucking mess, and a total gamble on whether or not it's going to be good for everyone in the country or bad for everyone in the country. Like,
yeah.
It's not a way to lead a country, people.
It's awful. I mean, like,
yeah.
Dianne Feinstein didn't know where she was towards the end of her fucking life,
and she was still in a position in which she can vote on things, and this bitch didn't know if she was, at her fucking desk or not. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy. She had to be wheeled in by her like granddaughter, right?
Yeah, and I think one of her caretakers was also like the niece to Nancy Pelosi, so the obvious nepotism is there too. So.
Oh, clearly, yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm fine with nepotism in Hollywood because at least 99% of the time that actually works out because they, are very talented. But
John David Washington, dude,
yeah,
talented motherfucker.
but that's the thing though. They are entertainers. They don't actually have sway in how the world fucking operates.
That's arguable, actually, because there's been a recent backlash. I saw the Grammys the other night, and there was one person who did a tribute to Sinead O'Connor, and afterwards it called for a ceasefire, which, by the way, is like the most Sinead O'Connor thing you could do. So good on them. Um, but then like people gave flack to Taylor. She got like album of the year, which I haven't heard the record. So I'll have to check it out. But she won album of the year, which makes her like she broke a world record now. She's won that award. She's won that award 4 times. So she's the person who's won that award the most in history. Which that's good for her, right? That's fine. But people gave her flack because she used that space, her speech, to announce like a new album she's releasing. While she could have used it to like do some like pro Palestine stuff and and to that end, right? It's like here's the one thing I was talking to that girl about it the other night. Is like I think it's not particularly in the grand scheme of things. It's not the responsibility of celebrities to do that. It's also not going to really do anything.
Yeah.
Like world leaders are still going to be shit, and like Biden and the president, the Israeli president, they're still going to be doing their fucked shit. So like yeah, and on the other hand, she has a lot of power. Like her post about her new album got like 300K likes in like the first 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
Some crazy astronomical number. So she could spread a positive message. She could use that power if she wanted to. But what if I was also thinking? I mean, I was also talking to Kate, and like, what if she's like, a Zionist? What if she's like, fuck that shit? What if it ruins our perspective of her?
I would argue that that could not happen because the celebrities that know they could have power to do these things don't usually try to do that. They try to do small things here and there that help improve, like, at least a close inner circle of their lives.
Yeah.
Or at least they're smart enough not to get involved in that shit, like Taylor. Like, so far, anyone that's been talking about her, like, politically, has just been, like, the other side, just saying, oh, how dare she, like, alienate her entire audience by probably supporting Biden if she ever comes out and supports it. And I'm like, you just realize you guys are goading her on, right? Like, if she literally wanted to step up and do something, she can literally fuck all of you in one go.
She could. I mean, she's making effective change, right? She's like, there was the recent AI porn of her that was generated of her and Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And so now, because of that, she's helping to. It took that and not the suicide of a 14-year-old girl to make that change into law to make that illegal. So she's kind of got some power, dude.
So you got me there. But no, quickly, as soon as Republicans realize that, like, if the more they do this, the more their chances are fucked. If they keep goading this on, they decided to hold the fuck back, very quickly, very recently, and it shows, and it's fucking hilarious. But I will also argue that other celebrities that have tried to make strong political change and have failed miserably is Susan Sarandon, for example. She has made her opinions about things very clear politically, and unfortunately hasn't had the kind of change that she hoped. A lot of people are just clowning on her online, and that's just how it is.
What is her big political stances? What was her whole thing?
She stands very strong with Palestine, which I'm fine with. Because
Hell yeah.
It does seem like Palestine, is the victims in all this. I mean, it is super fucking messy, and there's death on both sides. But as far as like
the response that Israel has given is excessive, and I mean, when you start bombing like hospitals and children, and like you cut them in the wrong.
When you can carpet bomb an entire country into the Stone Age like that, it kind of stands to reason who the actual oppressor is here.
Absolutely, and it's not just been going on after October 7th. Yeah. It's been going on before. But anyway.
Yeah, but she had the audacity, though, to say, oh, the treatment of Jews recently with anti-Semitism, maybe now Israel now knows what it feels like to be Muslim. And I'm like, That's a pretty strong thing to say, Susan. Holy shit.
I get what she was trying to say, but like I don't know if it came off well. That was
It very much gave me Gina Carano vibes, where it's like, oh man, being a Republican in this country is like being a Jewish person, particularly reference the Holocaust. I'm like, okay, that's not the same fucking thing. No.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's yeah.
Yeah. It's basically the same fucking energy, and I'm like, did you not think this through in your head? How this would sound to people? Don't ever do that shit.
Speaking of Gina Carano, she's trying to sue Lucasfilm and Disney for the wrongful termination of her employment from The Mandalorian over those comments, and Elon Musk is going to be backing that because he promised to pay for the legal fees of anyone who got in trouble for tweets.
And this motherfucker had the audacity to go to Auschwitz and like make a fool of himself on stage, saying, "Oh, I've learned a lot about like the Holocaust and whatnot, and I've learned that if Twitter existed back in the day, it would have stopped the Holocaust." I'm like, this motherfucker just doesn't know when to stop in digging the hole with him and Jewish people. I don't get it. I don't get why he's doing this.
He said that shit.
He literally had what was essentially a TED Talk like thing about this. There is fucking footage out there. You can see him making fake posts of like, oh, this is just information on what's going on in Germany right now and Poland. The treatment is totally fine. Don't worry about it. Nah. It's fucking insane. Like, this man, he just keeps digging himself a pit. You know what the best part is about all that, too? He went to Auschwitz with Ben Shapiro, a prominent Jewish person in the media, and he's okay with Elon doing this type of shit to his people because, hey, it boosts him and his cause, so...
Yeah.
Motherfucker, Ben Shapiro is not Jewish. That man will sell out his own kind for his own political gain. It's fucking insane to me.
No,
he still announces himself as a proud Jewish man. Fuck that man. Fuck him.
Yeah, he's awful. Did you hear that awful rap he did recently?
I heard about that, and I thought it was legitimately AI generated. The fact that it is indeed real.
It's a real thing. It's and there's 2 points, right? There's 2 things I want to say about it. Like, one, it's funny that he did that after like some time ago saying like rap isn't real music. And the other thing is he says dog in it a lot, and I'm sure that's because the McDonald guy, whatever the fuck his name is, I don't care who that is.
It's like the whitest name ever, Tom McDonald or some bullshit.
Yeah, something like that. He probably had a conversation with Ben and was like, "No, Ben, you can't say that word. Say dog instead." So.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god.
But it's not. I heard it. I heard his snippet at least. It's not good. I don't care for it. I only heard it on Twitter, so I didn't have to give him views. He's fucking stupid. And the Tom McDonald guy, I don't know. I guess it's like, the whole song is about like, oh, I don't care if I offend you, but it's like, a lot of his songs, apparently a lot of his content is about discussing like how he offended people. So I guess he does give a shit. But anyway,
that's wow. It's like the same people that bought Bud Light just to shoot it up because they were boycotting Bud Light. I'm like, you already gave your money to Bud Light. You defeated the fucking.
That's not how a boycott works. Like a boycott I mean, like they did lose sales for sure. And honestly, after what they did to her afterwards, I'm okay with it. But like it's just stupid, like to think like, oh, buying the beer and then shooting it up, that's gonna make such a great statement. No, that just shows you're an unhinged psychopath. Like,
yeah,
fucking, it's an ad. You're a whiny bitch. Get the fuck over it.
And it was several influencers too. Like, it wasn't just her. It was so many other people. The fact that it happened to be one person who was a transgender woman They got so fucking mad at that. That is fucking insane to me.
I will give them this though. I will help their argument. They're a bigger bitch than she is.
That is true.
But anyway, that's why I don't drink Bud Light anymore.
Yeah, also, it didn't even fucking matter because, like, they kept buying, like, other alternatives, and at some point, Modelo became one of the most selling beers in the United States. And, like, they're all owned by the same company, InBev. So, like, the money you're not spending on Bud Light, you're still giving to them by buying Modelo. Like...
Yeah, and like to that argument, like yeah, it is like it's all like a parent company and stuff, and they get their own. Like other companies that are on it, right? They're on Anheuser-Busch or Corona, Stella. I don't drink Natty Light. I've never had a Natty Light. I don't intend to. It sounds awful.
Yeah, no.
Budweiser. Well, maybe. No, I think I'm gonna avoid Natty Light. Budweiser's on it. Like all of these are technically like owned by that company, but like they're all their own companies and they can make their own decisions. So like they have their own employees. Like Budweiser, like as a company, lost out their money, which again is a good thing. Fuck them.
Yeah, at least until Kid Rock said it was okay to drink Bud Light again, and now everything's cool, I guess, with Bud Light. I'm like, what the fuck?
Is like what Kid like is Kid Rock like a fucking spokesperson or something, or he's like the bridge between transphobes and like
you know how like clerics are like the bridge between the mortal world and the world of the gods. Like he must be the fucking like the stationed cleric of Bud Light itself. He must be.
Yeah, it's I don't know. That's I guess yeah. Kid Rock is the stationed cleric of. It's all just weird, man. Like people just get so.
Funniest grift though out of all this was the ultra right beer that shortly came out after the whole like Bud Light debacle. It was
what was it called? Yeah, it was something stupid, right?
It was ultra right beer. That's literally what it's called, and it was supposed to be like a beer for real Americans without any of that woke shit. And it was fucking like $20 for a 6-pack. $30 total for the shipping, just to get it shipped to your house. For a 6-pack, keep in mind, $30 fucking dollars for a 6-pack of beer.
Put that in perspective. A 30-pack of Bud is about $30 or something like that. It's like 35 maybe. I think like the 12 packs are like $15.
Yeah. That is so $5 a fucking can for a 12-ounce can. Like why?
Why?
Here's the best part. It was a fucking scam. There was no actual beer anyways. So they just fucking took all this money from all these random people who wanted woke beer, none of that Bud Light shit, and they spent like at least $30 and at most $60, $70, and they never got their fucking beer. And it's just hilarious that they got royally fucked like that for no reason other than their own.
I love that's one of the things I will say I appreciate about stunts like this is like the grifters who come in and fucking just scam foolish idiots who are like who are willing to die on some stupid hill about like I don't know. Again, to me, it's like this is just such an odd. This doesn't have to be this shouldn't have to be a conversation. Like, who gives a fuck that like a trans lady is on a beer can and a special beer can made for her, or that she's promoting a beer that you've liked for several years because it's cheap and it gets you drunk. Like, why the fuck do you care? If it's someone who's done like an atrocious thing, like if it's like fucking. Well, actually, I was gonna use I was gonna use a Nazi as an example, but like they probably would enjoy that shit. To be on their beer, if they used like fucking like Saddam Hussein, if they promoted him on like a beer can, I'd probably be like, I'm not gonna buy that beer.
Yeah, or if they had like a special deal with Kevin Spacey or something before the shit came out about him. I guarantee you, like, a lot of people will be like, well, Kevin Spacey is a bad person. Of course I'm not gonna drink the fucking beer. But like,
it's just the beer with his face on it.
It's just a random person just because of their simple lifestyle choice. That doesn't hurt anybody, but for some reason hurts them directly. I don't understand it.
Because she wants to be who she wants to be, like who she is, you know, it's like, what the fuck, man? I don't understand.
I really don't. If it's like someone who like touches kids or like does horrendous things to other people, like actively does terrible things to other people, don't fucking support them. But like if they just want to be who they actually want to be, which is just, live a simple lifestyle. They want to be a woman if they're a man. They want to be a man if they're a woman. It doesn't fucking matter. It really shouldn't.
Yeah, like Jared from Subway, dude. Like, as soon as I found out about his shit, I was like, I'm gonna stop eating Subway for a while. But then they distance him from themselves. So I was like, Subway's cool again.
I mean, they were kind of cool until like
Togo's across the street.
Oh, you got a Togo's? Nice.
I got a Togo's across the street, so I just go get their meatball sub. Anyway.
Honestly, it's gotta be better because the real selling point for me was the combination of the Jared thing. Then a couple years later, it came out that their tuna might not actually be genetically tuna. It's some sort of imitation tuna. And then lo and behold, lovely Ireland. I fucking love Ireland. The High Court of Ireland dubbed Subway sandwich bread as being too sugary sweet to be constituted as bread. It is a pastry by their definition.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Ireland, they have fucking high standards for their food, including their bread.
Yeah, man. Fuck Subway. And also they got that 5 foot long fucking, or the foot long fucking cookie. The $5 foot long cookie. It's just a rectangle, and people were mad. It's like it's 1,400 calories. It's like, what the fuck you expect a foot long cookie to be? Like 12.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you can have Diet Coke, but you can't have Diet Cookie. Like, the fuck were you expecting?
Yeah, no, for real, dude.
Oh my god. I will tell you what though. I will die a happy man if they actually come out with a diet version of a cookie.
I might just I'll die a happy man if I'm fucking 80 and I'm still around. I'll be like, give me the Subway footlong cookie. I'll fucking die of that. The instant sugar in my bloodstream is just gonna fucking be too much and my body's gonna die.
Dude, if I live to be 80 plus years old, even if I just make it to fucking 80, I'll be like, okay, I want you to do me two things. Give me one of those travel-sized bottles of Jägermeister and a couple beers and the lemonade that kills you from Panera Bread, and I'll just do all that in one sitting.
No, for real. Give me a Red Bull, the Panera lemonade, and a line of Coke. I'll fucking die of
that. Dude. The drummer from Slipknot could never keep up with that beat of your heart. Holy shit. Oh my god, bro. Oh. Dude, you're gonna have a heart murmur that invents a new trap beat. That's what you're gonna do. Holy shit. I swear to God, you fucking die from that. There's gonna be a drill rapper using your EKG machine as a fucking beat.
That's so funny. He's gonna bring it to the studio oh shit, I got this 5 feet right now.
Hey yo, this 80-year-old man died in the hospital yesterday, but I got a fucking tape of his EKG machine. It's fucking fire.
I got the sample right here. You're gonna like this shit.
I got some bars in the middle of the draw. Let's just put it on a fucking track, man. Oh my god.
I think on that note, I think it's a good time to clock out.
I think it is, yeah. And I guarantee you that fucking rap would include Ice Spice as a featured guest. I guarantee you.
Absolutely. She'd be 60 and still banging.
She'll still be banging in her late 70s. I swear to fucking God. I can feel it now. Black don't crack.
Not for real, dude.
But this has been the 9 to 5 boys. Hope you all enjoyed, especially that fucking bit near the end. Holy shit. Oh my god. We will see you hopefully next week. Hopefully it won't be a 2-week hiatus next time. So next week, as scheduled, we will see you then. Till then, have a great night.